Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm saying some crazy stuff out this man's mouth, and I'm like, I'm going to say something every time. His phone starts buzzing. I look over at it, and it's two girls' names. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brianna Nicole. If you're new here, if you're not new here, welcome back. So in today's video, we are doing another episode for my Healing Diaries. We are on episode 4, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. And we're gonna get right into this video. Don't forget to hit that like, comment, share, and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the video. All right, you guys, so welcome back to episode 4 of my Healing Diaries. Today, we are going to talk about healing without closure, which is basically what I had to go through. Still lingering through it, kind of. I am currently on like month 5 of healing my mind from this whole thing. We like officially were done about 3 months ago. But 2 months before that, I was definitely in a mindset of like, this is not my person. So I kind of started my healing journey then, if that makes sense, like from this whole thing. And yeah, so just being very transparent and very honest with you guys, one of the hardest parts of this journey was not the breakup itself. It was more of the fact that I didn't get the closure that I felt like I needed. So I'm going to basically talk about how it ended, like the very day that it ended. And then from there, how I dealt with not having that closure. So the very last day that we were together, we spent the weekend together and everything was fine. And I'm gonna be so transparent. So anything that you guys like hear or whatever, like this is all truth. This is like my truth. This is what happened. So basically, it was on a Saturday and I had my community group. So I woke up, got ready to go to my community group. Everything was cool. He stayed here. While I was in my community group started at 9. So while I was at my church, he had texted me that he was gonna go to his community group and they were like meeting at like a diner or something like near my apartment. So he went there. I came back. He was already back. I guess they met for like 30 minutes. It was very short, he said. So I came back. He had bought me food from the place that he went to. So I ate that. And then we just chilled. We were watching TV and stuff. He was like, oh, I think I took a shower. I'm pretty sure I took a shower. I did something and then I came and watched TV with him. But while I was like taking a shower, he was like, oh, like I have like a date planned for us today or whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm like, what is it? And he was like, we could go to I think he gave me like some options or whatever. So I ended up choosing the movies and dinner. So we were going to go to dinner at like around 6, I guess. And he was like, okay, like let's start getting ready. Like I guess we're about to start getting ready or something. So I think he needed to use the bathroom. So he went to use the bathroom. And while he was in the bathroom, he left his phone. His phone starts buzzing. I look over at it and it's two girls' names. Mind you, the buzz wasn't from them texting him. Those messages were already like sitting there. I don't remember the time. There's a lot of things I was supposed to look at that I didn't look at. I just seen the name. I seen 2 names. One of the names had a heart next to it. The other name, they were both girls. They were both texting him separately. I saw that while he was in the bathroom. Not because I went to check his phone. I think I got up while he was in the bathroom to like fix the curtains or open the blinds or something. I think I opened the blinds and then his phone buzzed and then I looked at it. And then underneath of what the original notification was that made his phone go off was the 2 girls like separately. So I look at it and I'm just like, bro, like, who are these people? I don't want to have to ask you, and I've never heard these names before. So obviously like they're new. And I feel a way about that in itself. Like having new female friends, Like, why you're in a relationship, I don't know. It's just weird to me. It's weird to me. Because for me, like, I'm not out here making new guy friends while I'm in a relationship. Like, obviously, the people who were already there were already there, and that's cool. No issues with that. Like, those are obviously your friends. Okay, cool. But new people, it's a little bit crossing the line. Just a little bit. But obviously, that's a story for another day. I know some people might disagree, but, like, for me, that's, like, So, he comes out of the bathroom, and I try to play it cool at first. I'm like, bro, like, I don't feel like arguing with this man because I know that's what it's going to do. I know if I bring up anything, we're going to argue about it. So I just decided to, like, not say anything. But he could tell something was off. So then he was like, what's wrong? Like, he came out the bathroom all goofy and, like, you know, doing, like, acting like himself or whatever. And then as soon as I was like, well, can I talk to you about something? But I'm going to talk to you about it, like, later. His whole mood changed. Now he's, like, not really saying anything. So, yeah. I'm like, at this point, I might as well say it. So when I came back from the community group, I didn't take a shower. I ended up taking a shower after that conversation. Because I remember I went to go take a shower, and I was in the shower just, like, contemplating, like, should I say something or should I just leave it alone? But me, like, knowing myself, I'm going to say something every time. Like, I could tell myself, like, don't say nothing. Like, it's fine. I'm not going to just, it's fine. No. I'm going to tell you, we're going to talk about it. That's going to be what it is. So I go in the shower, take a shower. I come out. He is now sitting out there watching TV. So I'm like, okay. So I get my stuff. I get dressed. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just say it. So we talk about it. I'm like, who are these people on your phone? He was like, or I might have it backwards about him sitting out there. I think I might have took a shower after I actually, like, gave in and talked to him about it. I don't remember the whole timeline, but I do know what was said. So I asked him about it. I saw 2 females on your phone. Like, who are they? Oh, they're just people I work with. I said, okay, so why does one of them have a heart next to her name? Oh, you know how when you can, like, change your profile on your phone, and then when you get their contact, like, it just gives you what they put? I said, yeah. He was like, yeah, so I just kept it like that. Huh? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I said, you can easily change it. You know that, right? Yeah. I said, okay, so why wouldn't you change it? I was like, you changed my name on your phone real quick. So what's the problem? And he was like, well, you changed my name on your phone too. Bro, that's beside the point. That's beside the point. I'm not out here texting other men. Let's start there. So he says, okay, well, I'll remove it. Like, I'll change it, whatever. I said, okay, whatever. So now he's, like, kind of acting weird about that. And I'm just like, I don't get it. Like, because at this point we weren't together. We were supposed to be working on getting back together. So I was just like, do you even want to do this? Like, we don't have to do this. Like, we don't have to. And I've always said that. So I was like, we don't have to. And remember that I said this. Always said that. Remember that I said that. I was like, yeah, we don't have to do this. Like, if you want to, I said, do you want to talk to other people? He was like, no, do you want to talk to other people? And I think that's how I started the conversation, actually. He was like, no, I don't want to talk to other people. And then I was like, well, then who are these people? So he basically was kind of saying, like, he didn't want to go on the date anymore. Like, I ruined the day and blah, 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 blah. So we get over that. Now I'm getting ready because we're going to go still. So I get ready. We are leaving. We go to Cheesecake Factory. And it was good. It was fine. We sat there, we ate, we chatted, we laughed, like nothing ever happened. So I'm like, all right, I guess we're good. Like, whatever. But in the back of my mind, I'm still like, bro, like, why is he texting other girls? So that was still bothering me, but I did play it off like, it is what it is. Like, at this point, forget it. I don't, like, whatever. So then we come back because I think we had like an hour and a half before the movie started because we made the movie for like 9, I think, or 10. It was something late. So I forgot what movie it was. Oh, it was the Black Phone 2. So we had made the reservation for that like kind of late. So we came back to my apartment. So like while we're driving back, I think we're like almost to my apartment. And he was like, tomorrow, so at that very moment it was Saturday, tomorrow was Sunday. We always go to church together. And he was like, tomorrow I'm gonna skip church and go play ball. And I was like, so listen to me and listen to me good. I don't necessarily have an issue with him going to play basketball. That was not the issue. The issue was that we're trying to grow together. We're trying to prioritize God together. So for you to tell me that you're not going to go to church because you want to go play ball, it really sent me over the edge. I was like, what do you mean you're not going to go to church, but you're going to go play ball? And in my head, I'm like, I said, like, you can go play ball, like, after. And he was like, no, because they're not going to be, like, his friends or whoever he was going to play with are not going to be there, like, by that time. Mind you, I low-key feel like they would be, especially because the way he made it sound was like there was a lot of people going. So if there's a lot of people going, usually they be in that gym for, like, the whole day, if they could. So they usually stay for at least 4 or 5 hours. So if you were going to go play ball at, like, 10 a.m., they're still going to be there when church is over. Church is only an hour and a half. So in my head, I'm like, he could have easily gone after church. And if that wasn't the case, like, even if they weren't going to still be playing when we got done church, so be it. That's how I felt about it, just because of how much we both were saying that we wanted to have God in the center of our relationship. We wanted to put God first. We wanted to do all this stuff, including God. And then he just changes his mind, I guess. And he was like, oh, well, like, God knows my heart. God knows blah. I was very upset about that. And it kind of just made me feel like, okay, so you're choosing to play basketball over going to church. And it's not even like, I don't want to sound so harsh. Like, I don't want it to come off like that, but that's literally how I felt. Like, and I'm not saying like I was ever perfect when it comes to like going to church, because that is far from the truth. But once I started the habit of going, I haven't stopped. And I wanted both of us to be on that same wavelength. Like, we can't be doing two different things. He was like, oh, well, you can just go by yourself. Like, yeah, I can just go by myself, but I don't want to. Like, I would like for us to go together, if that is feasible. Like, if we can go, we're going. That's what I want. And as like wanting a husband, wanting like that, wanting a godly man, a godly husband, somebody who takes the lead and is not like, oh, I'm going to go play basketball while you go to church. That's like, I don't want that. Like, I want him to take the lead, and I wanted him to be like, we're going to church, period. And if they're still playing ball when we get out, then I'll go play ball. But if they're not, they're not. But for him to just like do that, it kind of just like messed me up. And I was just like, bro, like, whatever. So we were like in an argument about that for like, we came in the house. So I came in my room. My brother was playing a game. So I turned his game on like immediately. And I obviously, like, I had like enough time to like watch the rest of this game before we went to the movies. So I came in here and I told him, I didn't tell him. I just came in here and I just laid on my bed. He sat out there. I didn't tell him to do that. Normally he comes in here and we just both come in here. So I sat on my bed. I was on the phone with my parents and my brother's game was on. And then he comes to like the door and he's like, I forgot what he said. He was like, oh, so you're just gonna leave me out here? And I'm like, what? You could have came in here. Like, what are we talking about? You like, huh? So he was like, oh, well, you just left me out there, like, come out here or whatever. And I was like, well, I'm on the phone with my parents and I'm watching a game. So I had to like mute them while I'm trying to talk to him and listen to my dad talk at the same time. I'm telling him, hold on. And he's getting mad, and then he walks away. So then once I'm done speaking to my dad, I tell him to come back, and then that's when he says what he says. But I'm just like, bro, like, you're making this so much more than what it is. And mind you, we were both drinking at this point. I wasn't drunk or nothing, because the drink I had was like a slushy mix type of drink, and it was barely any alcohol in it. But he, on the other hand, had been drinking before we went out, and then drinking again when we got back, and drinking while we were out when we went to Cheesecake Factory. So he was already like, just, you know. So I go out there after I'm done talking to my family. Mind you, now we have like maybe, I don't know, like 40 minutes until the movie starts. And I'm like, let's just go. And we can just sit in the car and just like wait at the place or whatever. And he's like, no, like, we're not leaving. And then he's like asking me for a hug. And I'm like, no. And then I start talking about the fact that he said he doesn't want to go to church tomorrow because he wants to go play ball. And then we start talking about that again. And then it just turned to this whole thing. And then I was like, well, since like you can just leave then. And he was like, okay, then I'll just leave. So he takes all his stuff. He leaves. And I'm like, okay, cool. I sit down, continue watching my brother's game, get in my bed, and I'm just chilling. And then he's texting me and calling me like, oh, so you're not going to come to the movies? And then he was like, either I could go to the movies or you can go to the movies. And I was like, I'm not going by myself. So I'm going to stay right here. That happened before he went to his car, by the way. Sorry. I be getting the timeline mixed up. But he was like saying like either one of us could go, but we're not both going. And I was like, okay, then I'm not going. Like, you can just go. So then he goes to his car, and when he gets in his car, he's calling me and texting me. He texted me like, oh, like, so you're not going to come? And I was like, no, I'm not going by myself. And then he was like, I think he called me, and then he was like, come downstairs, like, we're gonna go. So I go. Mind you, the only reason that I went is because he had already paid. And obviously that would be kind of rude. And then I don't want it to be a thing where like now I owe you money. So I was like, okay, so I'll just go. So I go downstairs, I get in the car, we go there. We're not talking. The whole car ride, we're not talking. So we get to the place, still not talking. We get inside, still not talking. We watched the movie, or I watched the movie, I should say, because he somehow went to sleep. So he didn't even see that movie. But, so he slept like that whole movie. So I basically did go by myself. But whatever. So I went, and then the movie's over. And like, mind you, like towards like the beginning of the movie, I was like trying to talk to him. I'm like asking him like why he's acting like this. And he like would not answer me. So that is what it is. And then, so once the movie was over with, we get in the car, and he was like, so are you done? I think he said, are you done being mad or something? And I was like, I mean, like, I still feel how I feel. Like, you not going to church is like really bothering me. Like, that's weird to me. Like, he's never done that. So for you to skip church with me to go play ball is really like eating me up inside. So then he just was like, okay. So then we drive back to my place. Mind you, I only live like 3 minutes from the movie theater, so it's not a long car ride. But we don't speak the whole car ride. We get to my apartment. I'm thinking that he's going to leave. Like, in my head, I'm thinking he's going to drop me off at the front of my apartment, and he's going to leave. He does a whole reverse, parks his car, like, reverses into the parking spot, like, does the whole, like, parks perfectly. So I'm like, is he about to come in? This man said, okay, you can get out now. I get out. I go in my apartment. Literally, I had to walk because he decided to park. If he was not going to stay, he should have just, dropped me off in front of my apartment, but he did not. So, I mean, like, the parking spot wasn't too far away, but, like, common decency would be to just, drop me off in front of my apartment. So it's like, yeah, you can get out. So I get out. I walk up to my apartment, and then I think like maybe like 30, 40, almost like an hour goes by, and I'm like wondering, like, did he get home okay? Like, I'm like actually worried for his safety. So I call him like, are you home? And he was like, yeah, I got home. Everything seemed fine. honestly. Like, I didn't think that it was like over with at this point, but cuz the first, like, I don't know. The two arguments that we had didn't seem like that would be the end all be all, but it ended up being that. So it is what it is. But so the next day, what was it? The next day was Sunday. So I go to church. And mind you, like, everybody is so used to seeing us together at church. Like, people know us by this point. That's how much we go. So that's why I was saying, like, it's weird for him to be like, oh, I don't want to go. I want to go play ball. So, like, and even, like, the times that that he wasn't speaking to me before he started speaking to me again, people would ask, like, oh, where is he? Like, and sometimes I would tell them that he's working when he's not working. He's not talking to me. But so I went to church that day, and obviously everybody's asking me where he's at. And all right, before that happened though, before I went to church that night, he was like saying like he thinks that we need to be done. And I was just like kind of not having it. Like, I didn't think that should have led to that, but you know, it is what it is. So yes, by the time I got to church, we were officially like done. So people were asking about him. I was like, yeah, like, we're not together anymore. Like, I started telling people that so they could stop asking me where this man is at. So I tell them that, and then when I get home from church, he texted, I don't know if he texted me while I was at church, whatever. He texted me that he was gonna bring my TV, because he had my TV and he had something else, and he still has my space heater, but whatever, he can have it. I don't want it. So he brings me my TV, and my keys. So he brings me my TV and my key. Mind you, he brings it at like 2 or something. So in my head, I'm like, you could have had time to play ball and go to church, like. But anyway, so he brings my stuff, and before he brings it up, he calls me and he's like, yeah, I'm downstairs. And I'm like, okay, like, just bring it up here. He was like, you can come and get it. It's not that heavy. No, I can't come and get it. It is that heavy. So he brings it up. I didn't say that, but I said, I'm not coming to get it. Like, you can bring it up here. And mind you, it's not that heavy. Like, I could have done it, but why would I do that? So he brings it up, and he has a key. The key that he's bringing to me is the key to the front door. So he opens it, he brings the stuff in, he puts it on the thing, and then I hear him. I'm in my room, mind you. I have the door like kind of open, just in case he tries to, like, I don't know. So I thought that he was just gonna drop it off and leave. This man comes walking down the hallway. I'm like, bro, what could he possibly want to say? So I'm like hiding behind the door low key. He catches me in a weird position, because why am I behind the door? I don't know. So then I'm like peeking on the door, and he was like, your stuff's out here. I'm like, bro, you really had to come down here to tell me that? I said, you don't need to tell me that. Like, I can hear you. So then he turns around, he goes back. Mind you, before, what was this? Before he came in and he said what he said, like, oh, you can come get it, he also was like trying to say that he's been trying to leave me and I wouldn't let him. And then he said that he's been putting up with me for 3 years. Like, just saying some crazy stuff out this man's mouth. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, if anything, the stuff that you are saying, I should be saying. Because I didn't cheat. I didn't do any, like, craziness to you. Like, I've been myself. I've been loyal. I've been nice. I've been kind. I've been caring. I've been the whole 9 that anybody in this world would want. So for him to be like, oh, I was putting up with you for 3 years, like, you made me stay with... No, I did not make you do anything that you didn't want to do. So that's how it ended. He brought me my stuff, and then I was kind of still like texting him after that, like on Instagram and stuff, contemplating if I should block him, but at the same time still like you know, when you're so used to somebody being in your life, it's really hard, or at least for me, it's hard for me to just let them go. So I was speaking to him for like maybe like a week or so after we were like done, like not done. After we were officially done, I was still like texting him like throughout the week. There was times that he didn't respond. There was times that he did. And then still low-key thought I wanted to be with him, knowing that he's probably not the person for me. So I was still trying. And I was like, I kept trying to plead my case and kept trying to like say all this stuff. And I think it all just came down to me not trusting him as quickly again as he would have wanted me to, because me seeing those two girls on his phone probably sent him like out the window. Like, she's never gonna trust me again, so really what is the point? And honestly, who knows? But to be honest, if I don't see you texting other females or doing other things with other females or other things with other females, if it doesn't have anything to do with another female, then I'm probably okay. But when it comes to another female in that man's phone, yes, it's going to make me feel away because you did what you did when you were in Korea. So, I don't know. But the very last message that was sent to me, though, is what kind of made me think, like, he may come back. But as you guys know, in my previous episode, I told you guys that I talked to God and that man is not my husband. So if he ever was to come back, then that just is what it is. But it's not going to go any further than being a friend or whatever. But the very last message that was sent to me was basically that he was going to like go, I guess, to therapy or get help or whatever. And that's cool. I honestly need to do the same. And I was just like, okay, like, I hope it helps. Like, that's what I said to him. And then I didn't get a response after that. So that was kind of like the end of our thing. And like, that's where me not having closure comes in. Because I'm like, so what does that mean? Like, are you done? Or like, I was just kind of lost, kind of confused for a while. But that was very long story time. I'm so sorry. But to bring it all together, just me wanting explanations for everything and wanting apologies and all this stuff, things that I'm never going to get, things that even if I did get them, probably wouldn't mean much coming out of his mouth. And then just knowing that this person was still able to treat me this way, even though they were in love with me, the whole thing is just whatever. Like, I had to come to an acceptance of my own closure, not from somebody else, but for myself, that this person is just not for me. And that is what it is. Like, I cannot change it. I cannot make them love me. I cannot make them treat me right. I can't do it. So I had to come to terms with that on my own and not keep trying to believe that closure is going to bring me peace, or closure is gonna, because honestly, I feel like if I was to speak to that man again, it would just open up a can of worms and I would be back to square one. So I think it was best that I just, accepted it for what it was and just left it at that. Silence is the answer. So there was a lot of times where I would text him like the week after, like I told you guys, I still was reaching out like the week after we were done. Silence, him not answering, was giving me really all that I needed, but I would still reach out. So even that in itself was kind of closure. But in this moment of me wanting closure and then me just accepting the fact that I'm not going to get it, I blocked him on everything. It really took God showing me that my healing can't depend on this other person. I have to move on. I can't sit here and want closure forever and not knowing if I'd ever get it or not. So I said, okay, like, I have to move on. It is what it is. Like, God is going to help me heal. God is going to get through this with me. I don't need this man to give me closure. So I say all that to say, because my story time was so long, I don't want to like extend this a little bit or extend this too long. But I want to end this with, you don't need closure to heal. You don't. You need God to heal. You need to speak to God to heal. You need to know God or you don't have to know God fully to heal, but God, just know that God is with you in any type of needing to heal situation. And I realized that closure is not a conversation. It's a decision. You have to choose to be done with that chapter. You have to choose to move on from that chapter. And that's what I had to do. Like, I said, okay, like, this is my closure. Me being done is closing this chapter. I'm blocking him. I'm not speaking to him. I'm not thinking about him. I am moving on. And having that mindset of I'm going to be my own closure and God's going to help me like through this, it changed the whole thing. It changed the whole game for me. I was able to eat again. I was able to sleep again. I was able to just let it go. And that's what, ultimately, that's what somebody wants when they want closure. They just want to be done with it. Just know that you can have peace even if you don't, quote unquote, get the answers that you think you want or the answer that you think you need. Having no answer is an answer. So just move on, be done with it, and take your peace back. Take your power back. Take it all back. Just love on yourself and know that God is getting through the whole thing with you and you're not doing it by yourself. The strength that I have today that I did not have on day one of us being done, like, if you would have saw me on that day to now, you would think I'm like a whole different person, and you would think that I was probably on drugs or something, because I'm happier, I'm more peaceful, I'm a whole different ball game here. So just know that, like, it's okay to have closure by yourself. It is okay to do that. You do not need that other person to give you closure. So to close it all, the episode was about letting go without answers, letting go without closure from the other person. My next episode is going to be about choosing peace and walking forward, even if you are still healing. And then that will be our last episode. I'm only doing 5 episodes for this series because I don't want to drag this out. I don't want to talk about this the rest of my life. I kind of just wanted to get it all out and to share my story, and then to also like be relatable to my followers, my subscribers. So I really, really hope that this video helped you guys if you are in a position where you feel like you need closure from somebody that you're not getting it from, because I definitely was there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit that like, comment, share, and subscribe button, and I will see you guys in my next video.